my name's Glenn. I shoot a lot of corporate videos, and one thing that I like using on set are battery operated lights, only because they're really convenient. They're easy to move around, to set up, to use. I don't have to worry about any trip hazards like wires hanging around. So Protog has actually lent me this LED light to take on to some of my corporate video shoots. And a couple of things I actually like about this LED light is, one, it's a large light source, so you get a nice soft light that wraps around your subject, especially when you're shooting things like interviews. The other thing I like about this one is it's got a really good throw on it. So what I mean by that is, how sometimes with LED lights, the further that you move it away from your subject, the light diminishes quite quickly. Whereas this one, the throw on this is quite strong. So I was a bit surprised about that. Now at the moment, this is set at 10%, which is its lowest setting. On my shoots with the interviews, I never had to take it up to 100%. It was actually that strong. One thing though is, with these barn doors, I thought I could possibly use them to kind of cut the light, making sure that it won't hit the background. But because the light source itself is quite large and quite soft, it just kind of like fills up the whole area. So I wouldn't use the barn doors to cut the light. I would only use it to kind of flag it, more so if I was lighting the subject on its side or from behind for a bit of rim lighting. Then I would actually flag it so that way you don't get any flaring into the lens. But I was quite happy with this light. The other thing is you can actually adjust the color temperature of it, but I've been using it just on 5600 Kelvin daylight white balance. So yeah, once again, the throw on this was so good. I thought I'd try it out on something else. One thing that I do for my clients are corporate headshots as well for the website, and so I thought I'd try to use this light instead of my usual setup, which is off-camera flashes and strobes, and I can just use the same light that I bring along for the video shoot for my photos as well, which is really good. Here I am setting up an impromptu portrait photo shoot for a corporate client, and I've simply used a projector screen as my backdrop. The area that was available was actually a walkway. Here's the back of the light, and because I don't have any V-mount batteries, which is what this light is powered by, I've attached a V-lock adapter which accepts 2 Sony NP-F batteries. And here are the settings that I used. I went with a warmer color temperature to match the CTO gels I've attached on the 2 LED lights that were set up behind the subject. The subject was about 1.5 meters from the backdrop and roughly the same distance from the key light source. I've brought up the shadows just a little bit in post because I felt the contrast was a bit too high. Now, this could have been mitigated by using a bounce card or another light for fill. What I really liked about this setup is that it's completely battery operated, and because it's continuous light, it's a you see what you get approach. The lights wrap nicely around the subject's face, and what's interesting is that because the LEDs are much bigger in this unit, the fall off isn't as bad as the smaller LED lights. I was only using 70% of the light's power for these photos. So this light packs down in a fairly small form factor. So close these up, and you can see it's about that thin. Now I've got the Sony NP-F battery adapter plugged into this at the moment, so I'll just disconnect that, and that's it there. So this is a separate accessory that you can get from Protog, where you can actually plug in your Sony NP-Fs if you don't have a V-mount battery that you can plug onto the back of this light. So I'll just undo this, and you can see that it's fairly light, fairly thin, easy to put away and to carry around. So it's quite versatile. The barn doors themselves, they're made of aluminium, so they're quite good quality. They're not flimsy or anything. And you can actually control the pitch by undoing these screws on the side, so just like that. One thing you've got to keep in mind though is, if you've got the barn doors out, that positioning the light upwards is fine, but down the barn doors would hit the side panels here. So you just got to keep that in mind. It's really versatile. I can use it on my video shoots. I can use it for photos. It's just easy to move around. So yeah, that's the LED light from Protog.